Alright, you're in the rant hole where I rant about whatever my $15 a month plus patrons want me to. You can get a rant yourself by becoming one of those people. Today's rant comes at the behest of Calcifer, who says to rant about my favorite food. Now, if you've followed me for a long enough time, you most likely are aware that my favorite food of all time is very specifically the barbecue chicken flatbread pizza at Kona Grill. I've only had it 3 or 4 times, but it is the greatest thing of all time. So how I discovered this was that there is a Kona Grill. It's a restaurant that there's maybe, 8 of in the country. One of them happens to be right next to the Baltimore Convention Center, which is where both Otakon and BronyCon took place, and I only live 4 hours away from it back when I lived in Virginia Beach, so I used to go to those cons every year. And one of the years that we went to BronyCon, I think it was the year that I had first met all the PCP guys, so 2014, I think, and we had this huge party of people, and like, we were all trying to get drunk, because I think it was somebody's 21st birthday, or just like, I had just finally gotten to where I had like money that I could spend on alcohol, and like, I'd never really done that kind of shit at cons before. I'd been going to these cons since I was like 16, and never been able to drink, you know, so I was excited, and we go to this place, and they happen to have like, you know, like a sale menu, and they're like, oh yeah, these flatbreads that would ordinarily be like $13 are only $7, and I was like, sick. Now, I had only experienced flatbread at Panera Bread, where it's like a tortilla of like pita bread or something, full of barbecue chicken and onions. What by barbecue chicken I mean chicken and barbecue sauce and onions and spinach and cheese. Right? They're okay at they're usually often badly made at Panera Bread, but like the flavor combination is solid. So that's kind of what I'm expecting from a flatbread. I hadn't had a flatbread pizza before, so I order this barbecue chicken flatbread, and they bring me this like about yay big size pizza. That's it's completely flat, and I'm just like, and it's diced into cubes, and I'm like, holy shit, not cubes but squares. So I take a bite, and I'm like, holy fucking shit, guys, this is like transcendentally good. Like, I'm looking around the table like, I've never had anything this good before. Like, somebody please take a slice, tell me. And they're like, yeah, it's really good. And I'm like, it's not just that it's really good, it's that I don't know if I've ever had anything this good before. This is like life-changingly good. And it was only $7, which was, for me at the time, I've always been a cheap ass, and I didn't have a ton of money back then. So, like, not that I do now, but, like, I didn't have a ton of money, and, I was like, wow, this amount of quality for $7 is absolutely unheard of. So, of course, the next time I was in Baltimore, I had to go back to Kona Grill and get another barbecue flatbread. And after having it the second time, I think, is when I started, like, evangelizing it. That was when I was like, because, when you've only had something once, how can you really say? Is it always going to be good every single time? Like, is it always going to be made just as well as the first time you had it? Also, maybe it was just the atmosphere. Maybe it was just that I was excited. I don't know. Like, surely it wasn't that incredible. And then I went again and had it again. And I don't remember if this was that time or not, but like, because one year I went, it was Otakon, and this time, it was the first, I think it was the last time I went to Otakon, but it was the first time that I had a ton of money. Like, it was just the first time I had expendable income to go to a convention, and like, I was like, I'm going to go all out, because I know that like part of the con-going experience for a lot of people is like going to all the fancy restaurants, seeing the tourist sites that are around, and like, Baltimore is not really a tourist city, but it does have a tourist strip. Like, just on the water, like where the convention is, that road has, a bunch of like high-end restaurants, a bunch of touristy stuff. There's boat rides, an aquarium, there's, they're known for their crabs, so there's all this crab shit everywhere, which, I mean, I think crab is overrated as shit as a food in general. So, like, I went around and I had the crab cakes at places, and I was like, and like, so much of it is so overpriced I wasn't even willing to go for it. Like, even though I was trying to like, I was trying to fliff, I still am a cheap ass, and I'm not going to, splurge on, like, a fucking $40 crab or some shit because I don't trust it to be good enough to have been worth the money, But, like, most of the stuff I had was whatever. But Kona Grill, man, I went back, and I remember I was feeling kind of shitty because I'd come to a point where, I was here with my friends, but, like, we'd grown a little distant, and they were all, like, up to their own thing. It was like Victor, my brother, was there. He was off with his with Hope. I don't know if they were dating yet, but he was off with Hope as he usually was, and they were just completely, doing their own thing. They weren't really connected to anybody else. And then I had my other friends who were with me. My cousin, he had events he was interested in. My friend had stuff he was interested in. So I was just kind of like, I was also the only one who really had that, like, expendable income, or at least was willing to spend on, like, having a fancier time a little bit. So I went to Kona Grill by myself. Like, none of my friends turn up. I wanted somebody to come, but I was just like, whatever. So I go in there, and I'm feeling real lonely, and there's people, like, the place is fucking packed. It takes forever to get my fucking flatbread. Like, I'm probably sitting there for, like, fucking 40 minutes, like, nursing a fucking, what was it? What's the drink with Bombay Sapphire in it? A fucking, god damn it, what the fuck is that drink called? The gin drink? The fucking, I don't even know, god damn it. Is it a Moscow Mule? But I think that has vodka. Anyway, I was nursing this drink for a fucking while, and then finally I get the sandwich, and when I took the first bite, I almost burst into tears. That's right, the very same anime trope I was just talking about in the latest episode of Shield Hero Weekly basically happened to me in real life. There were some people who commented that that's happened to them before. I'm not somebody who cries easily, so, like, the fact that I was, like, brought to the verge of tears, I was like, this is the best food in the world. And I came back the next day and got another one just to reconfirm, yes, it is incredible. If you are ever near a Kona Grill, I haven't had anything else on their menu. Like, I don't know if everything at Kona Grill is great. I just know that barbecue chicken flatbread is incredible. And I've had tons of people, because I've talked about it so often, especially on Twitter, people have gone there and sent me pictures of them eating it, and everyone has said it's great. I've probably got like 5 or 6 people, maybe even more, who've gone to Kona Grill and told me that they had that flatbread and that it was incredible. So that's why I've been evangelizing it. I really deserve a fucking ad deal with Kona Grill. But outside of that particular food, my favorite foods tend to be macaroni. I'm a huge macaroni guy. I like everything that May cooks for me, because these days mostly she cooks all my food and she's gotten really good at it. People, let me advise you, just learn to cook, man. Here's how you do it. Get what's on sale. Just go through the sale catalog at your grocery store and figure out, like, look at the things, like the baseline foods like chicken or whatever that's on sale. And then you go online and you look up recipes that you can make with all the stuff that's on sale. And then you just do the recipe to the letter. And, practice makes perfect. It's not that hard. So, anyway, I don't know why I'm talking about that at this point. That's your rant. See you in the next one.